with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are. It's what we call the coffee hour. And we're here every Friday, as you already know. And we're here every Friday between this time, which is 10 a.m. Eastern, from 10 to 11. And of course, you're there, I'm here, and we're all in it together. So thank you so much for being along with us. And golly, so far, the weather's looking good so far in New York. And this is just the beginning because I understand that we're going to get a little rain in the forecast here and there, but nothing as a washout. The good news is that this is going to be a long weekend. So after this show is over, we dive right into the weekend. It's a long weekend. It's Memorial Day holiday weekend. And so we thank you so much for being along with us. Later on in the program, we've got our 2020 feature, as we always do each week. 2020 feature features Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's Sports Update. And that's 20 past the hour, 20 to the hour. DJ Pete will be here. Yeah, he'll be here live. He'll be here on the phone live this week. And he's going to give you information about entertainment and recite all of those birthdays, all of those marvelous people in the music industry and TV industry or what have you. So that's all coming up. We also have my picks later on for the classic movies that I enjoy so much that I just want to share with you. And all of that is coming up, and it's you and I and all of us together. So I just want to wish you guys a wonderful Friday. And I see people starting to come in right now. And there's DJ Pete. As a matter of fact, he said, "Yes, I will." he wants to make that. He wants to make that plain. Yes, I will. He will be here. He's right here. And by the way, I just want to say hello to all of you guys in Facebook land, all of you guys in YouTube land. So we simulcast each week, Facebook and YouTube. So if you don't get one, you can get the other. Thank you so much for being along with us. So let's raise our cups. It's the coffee hour. What would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So salute, Ciandani. May you live 100 years. Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious. Okay, we got a show planned now for you. We want to make sure that you're involved into it as well. So, if you have anything to say, please feel free. And it's always a pleasure to have you aboard with us. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We got our weather forecast for those of you who are coming someplace other than New York. I'll take care of the New York scene. Other than New York, give us your weather forecast. Let us know what you got going. And of course, we're going to read it on online. That's a little protocol. That's nothing that you have to do, but we would appreciate it. We want to check out the weather forecast for all of the people who are listening to us. And I hope whatever your weather is, I hope it's a good one for the Labor Day holiday weekend, because a lot of us are going to be out there. They're cleaning the grills right now as we speak. And they're going to be doing a lot of things to make sure that the Monday, well, hopefully it's good. I'll give you the weather forecast for that. As a matter of fact, we can do that right now. What do we have? Let's see. Today we've got 63 degrees presently. That's what we have right now, 63 degrees. And, well, it looks like this today for Friday, and that's what this is, Friday, TGIF. It's going to be cloudy with occasional rain during the afternoon. So that sun that we have out right now is temporary. All right. And we want a high around 67 degrees. Winds will be east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 80%. So that's more of a sure thing than anything else. And we had a good string of great weather here in New York. Tonight it's going to be rain, low 49 degrees, winds east, northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 100%. All right. I don't think there's getting around that. 100%. And 1 to 2 inches of rainfall is expected. Okay, so it doesn't look good so far. I told you we're going to get rain. The sun that we have right now here in New York, it's in and out, but it's a teaser. And for Saturday, it's going to be cloudy with rain ending in the afternoon. That's good news. We'll have a high of 53 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, and chance of rain 80%. So we'll see. We'll see what happens then. We'll kind of see what goes on. You know, the weather tends to throw us a curveball every now and then. For Saturday night, it's going to be cloudy with occasional rain showers. We have a low of 49 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 60%. Is there any way getting around this? I don't know. Let's see what's happening for Sunday. Sunday looks like this is going to be rain early, then remaining cloudy with showers in the afternoon. High 58 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 60%. Boy. Rainfall near a quarter of an inch. All right. And Sunday night, okay, as we're going to wrap up part of the weekend anyway for Sunday night. Rain showers in the evening becoming more intimate. Overnight, we have a low around 54 degrees. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the chance of rain will be 60%, wouldn't you know it? Okay, but it gets a little better in time for Monday because we go into it. Like I said, it's a long weekend. Monday, it's Memorial Day weekend. And it looks like this for New York. It's going to be partly cloudy skies. We'll have a high 74 degrees. It didn't say anything about rain, so that's good. And winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it looks like Monday, out of all of the days, Monday looks like the better day. But, listen, it's Memorial Day. So get out the grills and start cooking. As Brian would say, start smoking and get it together. Thank you so much for being along with us. I see more people starting to come in, so wave to you guys and those of you on Facebook and, of course, all around the world. Thank you. We forgot to do this. We didn't forget to do it, but we did it a little late. We're going to do that little hand clap that we have each week. That hand clap, right? That goes out to all of the doctors and nurses and first responders, firefighters, and police officers who have been involved ever since we've been in this pandemic, and they're still with us. And the pandemic is still on. Kid you not, it's still on. However, we're trying to make things better, and the way we can do that is continue to protect yourselves. And one of the things you can do right now, which is available to you, is get vaccinated. And of course, we have 3 vaccinations or vaccines on the market. We have, of course, J&J, Johnson & Johnson, which is back with us. We have Moderna, which requires 2 shots as opposed to Johnson & Johnson 1 shot. And of course, another vaccine called Pfizer, which requires 2 shots. So as long as you can get those shots, get fully vaccinated, that helps things out. A lot of people are still on the fence about whether or not they want to get vaccinated or not. And we hope that you do. I mean, it's very important. And it helps us. The more people who get vaccinated, the better it is for all of us, because now we're trying to fight this pandemic. We want to get it down to 0. And the numbers of hospitalization and deaths are going down. And that's a good sign. And I'm loving that. I'm loving to hear that. It's going down. And so please do that. Now, those of you who haven't been vaccinated, okay, if you get the symptoms, if you feel any symptoms, please go get tested. And you can do that, all right? And tests are free. For vaccinated people, by the way, at this particular point in time, you don't have to wear a mask if you're out in public, in the open, or even inside, and you don't have to worry about 6 feet distance. Stadiums are opening up for people who are vaccinated. They have a section for people who are vaccinated. And so the people who are not being vaccinated, don't worry, you don't have to be ostracized or anything. Got that one out. Ostracized. And there's a section for you. However, it's getting to the point where things are starting to open up a little bit loose, but even still, a lot of people are still wearing their mask. And it's okay. Even if you're vaccinated, they're wearing masks. They're taking their time. They just want to take one step at a time. They just don't want to take off their mask just like that. But if you're in a park and you happen to be sitting alone, of course, you can take your mask off and be relaxed a little bit, But things seem to be getting better now, and we look forward to that. Now, you see down there, if you look up the stairs, right? I say upstairs, subject area is up there or over here or down here, depending on how you're watching the show. I have information for you. You see where at the top, the information where you see it has my name of the show, which is a coffee hour, today's date, and underneath that, it has what they call a COVID-19 test. COVID-19 test, which is a number. It's a New York number. But it gets you places. Even if you're not in New York, it'll probably give you a gap or bridge a gap to where you can go to get information that you need to know or have questions answered about COVID-19. And that number is 718-638-7682. And I'm pretty sure that anywhere in your area, around the world, across the country, you have local numbers, and it's all a matter of Googling to find out. And those numbers will give you information on where to get the test, which is free, by the way, and it only takes 5 seconds, and then you're on your way. And those are for those of you who are already fully vaccinated. You needn't worry about the test, of course, unless you get the symptoms. And 9 times out of 10, it may not mean anything, but you ought to be safe and continue to wear your mask. And a lot of people still wearing gloves and doing all of that. So please, keep that in mind. And for those of you who live in New York City, we're broken down into 5 boroughs. We got Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, and Staten Island. And of course, we have a 311 number. Of course, that's a New York City number that tells you everything about New York City, where to go, places to see, restaurants, bars, bistros, any place you want to visit. Tourists come in, they may want to use that number. That number is also used if you have complaints about anything. Let's say like a broken street or something, you can report that. A disturbing neighbor upstairs that just won't refuse, will refuse to not cause havoc. And you could always use that number to report. And that's, for New York City, of course. And of course, not to mention, you can get the information on where to go to get the test nearest you. And don't forget, you don't have to leave your borough to go get the test. You could stay in your borough, unless, of course, you want to travel to another borough just for the heck of it to do that. Just to get out of your borough, to break up the monotony, you can do that. But nevertheless, you don't have to leave your borough. All you have to do is give them your zip code, and they can tell you exactly where the nearest location where you can get tested or even get vaccinated. All right, so you have the best of both worlds. And a lot of people these days they don't have to have an appointment to get vaccinated. There's a lot of places where you can just walk right in there. It's free, and just say, I just want to get vaccinated. Get the vaccine that's available to you. All right. And I already repeated those vaccinations, those vaccines. You have the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and of course, Pfizer. All right. So you have 3 to choose from. And wherever it is, wherever your location is, walk right in there, get it. Pharmacists, maybe your primary doctor has a supply of it that he would like to make sure that you get it. But nevertheless, however you can get it. It's there for you. So there you go. And that's about it. And I still see more people coming in. So I want to thank you guys for this Friday. A lot of people, by the way, are getting out of here. They're getting out of here. They're jumping on planes this weekend because they want to spend that whole weekend out of wherever they live, and they want to spend the Memorial Day holiday with family and friends. And of course, if you have any people who are vets, it's a good time to spend it with them too. And while you're flipping those burgers and the steaks and all that, just remember the vets too. Keep that in mind too, what Memorial Day really is all about. So keep all of that in mind, okay? There you go. Excuse me while I shoot up. Okay. It's coming up. We're just short of coming up to 14 minutes after the hour. And of course, everything is good and everything is fine. So don't forget, all of you, give me your weather forecast. Now, the information I just gave everybody on Facebook, of course, we never neglect our friends on YouTube who are watching right now. We have that same information for you. Now, your information is in the chat area. You go to the top of the chat area, the very top of the chat area, and you'll see it there. I have the number of the vaccine, of course, information that you can get in touch with me personally. You're always free to use that information, my telephone number and my email address. All that's available to you if you want to comment about the show, or you want to make suggestions or ideas, or just even say hello. It doesn't matter. You have that. That's all available to you. So please be informed of that. It's good to know that we don't have any bad news this week, except for the normal, in politics. I mean, you hear, oh boy, politics. If anybody wants to talk about that, that's good. That's good enough for me. But we got some cuckoos out there. We got there some cuckoos, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but I will give you initials. I'll give you one initial. All right. I'm not gonna mention a name, but I'm gonna give you initial of my idea of a cuckoo. All right. Don't and keep the don't send the cards and letters. Don't give me any hate emails or anything. But I'm gonna only give you the initial, and you can figure it out for yourself. No names, just the initial. And here's the initial: Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sorry, MTG. All right, I meant to say that. Okay, there you go. Well, anyway, you got it. It leaked out. It leaked out. Okay, I see all my emails are blowing up right now. And my cell phone is about to blow up. All of that is coming up. I don't know. Anyway, as I said, we have those movies we're going to be telling you about. And in just about 5 minutes, Brian will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. And that's all coming along. So we thank you so much for being along. And I see more people are coming in. Hi, guys. How you doing? You don't want to say hi to me, but I'll say hi to you first just in case. And I hope whatever you guys will be doing, give us an idea what you're going to be doing. I would be very interested to know what you guys are going to be doing over the weekend. All right. Now, some people, they just want to relax. A lot of people don't celebrate holidays. A lot of people just say, it's just another day, and I'm going to sit home and I'll watch movies, Netflix, the whole 9 yards, and we're going to do all of that. Okay. Okay, and just in case, last night we were on our show, Talk Back Live, and just in case you tuned in yesterday, you noticed that we're on the TV side. We're broadcasting as far with video. For some reason, we are not getting the audio part of the radio session. I don't know what it is, and we're still trying to figure out how it goes. But right now, every week from now on, we're going to be on the TV side on our show, Talk Back Live. So if you watched last night, we thank you for being along with us. And by the way, we want to make sure that you know that we're on the air each week here and there. And we want you to be part of us each week and, make us your weekly habit. That's what we like to do. And we got so many things coming along, too. Not too far away, okay? Not too far away. We got sports coming up. And okay, I covered the weather. Everything is doing good. And if there are any congratulations to send, if you got a birthday coming up or something, I want to wish you guys a happy birthday, bar mitzvah, or whatever's coming up that you're celebrating. I just want to wish you the best. And of course, the best of the weekend too. It's going to be a good long weekend. For some of us, it's going to be like super long. I mean, like super long. And so because a lot of people are not working today, a lot of people are taking off just to get a jump on things so they can get out of the way, get out of Dodge and take the flight and go to wherever they're going. So a lot of people are not working today. But so those of you who are working, they make the best of it, and then you can always catch your flight as soon as you get off. But let me kind of like relay this message to the bosses, right? It's Friday, and Friday you give your employees a little break, dress down Friday, whatever it is, and you want to give them a break, give them an extra break today. All right. Let them go home a little bit early. If anything there's not too much going on, give them a break. Let them off about an hour early, 2 hours early, whatever you can, give them a break. And so they can all, and I know you want to do it too. You want to get to your families, your loved ones. You want to take that flight and just get out of here. Give them a little break, but don't let that affect their Christmas bonus. Okay. Just give them that little break, and we look forward to that. Okay, there you go, guys. Guys, thank you so much for being along with us. And just in case you're just joining us once again, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, where we sip a little coffee, a little tea, donuts, or whatever it is. And, of course, we thank you for being along with us. So excuse me again while I shoot up. Okay. Sunny skies. They're kind of like I say in New York, they're kind of like drifting in and out. But I read the weather forecast for New York City, so you can see, like in New York, we're going to be gonna have a little rain, 80%, 100%, 60%. You heard me read it, right? So, but by the time Monday comes around, it gets better. So I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, I love a great weekend, but I'll take that. It's a long weekend, and you have time to reflect on certain things that you haven't before. That's one of the good things about a long weekend. You could give yourself a chance to reflect on certain things before you go back to work on Tuesday. And again, we'll see. All right. So we are going to keep the show going on. And more people are coming in. There you go. Happy holiday. And before you sing, I say happy holiday, right? Yeah, it just reminds me of a certain holiday. Before you know it, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. I was going to get ready to say, before you know it, we'll be singing it. Happy holiday. No, I'm not rushing it. We didn't even get the summer yet. And by the way, that's coming up pretty soon. We got, like I said, Memorial Day is coming on, and then we won't be too far away from June, which is right around the corner. And not only that, you got the 4th of July. We're looking forward to a lot of things. 4th of July coming up. There's Coney Island hot dogs, all of those things. And DJ Pete just gave me his weather forecast out in Portland, Maine. He's got partly sunny skies right now. It's 59 degrees, and he's going to have a low tonight, 46 degrees. Thank you, DJ Pete. We'll see you on part of your 2020 feature. And speaking of the 2020 feature, here's the first part of it with Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports.
If right now, if I was in New York, especially in Brooklyn, I would go to Nathan's out there in Coney Island, not to get a hot dog, but get some of those famous frog legs. Man, those frog legs are off the charts. I love me some frog legs. That was one of the saddest part about leaving Brooklyn. Is Nathan's and going to Coney Island and having this frog leg. Waiting online was even great, because it's a Brooklyn, and that spot in Brooklyn is just so historic, and just seeing the cyclone and just having fun and going and walking on the boardwalk, listening to the music. It's just so much fun.
They have two Nathans in Coney Island. You know that, right?
Yes, they have the original one from 19 whatever it was.
Yeah.
They got one on the boardwalk.
On the boardwalk,
as well, too, which is a smaller version.
But I guess there's nothing like going to the original one. That's the classic. That's the classic one, the original one.
Yes, without a doubt. And even going to some of the old fast food joints, even White Castle. They got some historical pictures of when White Castles was being built back in, I believe it was in the 40s or 50s. I'm not quite sure, but yes, you see the pictures. It's just amazing how they still stand after all these years. Nathan's will never. When people think about Coney Island, they think about Nathan's, the Cyclone, and the merry-go-round, and all sorts of rides there, and the beach, of course.
DJ Pete just put up an icon of a hot dog, just to let us know he's hot dog.
Good morning to all. Good morning, Pete. Hope all is well. It is 82 degrees right now in Charlotte, going up to 90-something degrees today. 91, yes, 91. So at the hottest part of the day, I'm going to take a walk to the pool, jump in the pool, and cool off, and get ready for my holiday weekend, where I will be in McDermott, Georgia. Yes, 1 mile away from Shaquille O'Neal's house. I'm going to be there with the in-laws, going to have some fun, going to smoke some meat, and just enjoy my time there. I hope everybody, whatever you do this weekend, if you go out, be safe. But most of all, be very careful. We're still in a pandemic. Yes, a lot of us are vaccinated, but you still have to be careful. That's my advice to you all. But in sports, the NFL and the NFL Players Association agreed to a salary cap of $208.2 million per team. Now, this is not going to be the exact, but they said it could reach up to $208.2 million per team. So they are increasing the salary cap every year. The NFL told staff members that they are expected to get vaccinated unless they've been approved by religious or medical exemption. So they're take it because of religious reasons, and I respect that. I don't, you believe in what you believe in, and for medical reasons why you cannot take it. But whatever you do, if you don't take it, just still be careful. But that's what the NFL has put out. Now we got some boxing coming up, starting on June 5th. 3 boxing matches of celebrities. Former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield will fight Kevin McBride at Marlins Park, Florida. That's where the Miami Marlins baseball team played. So that's going to be an exhibition match on June 5th. And then June 8th, former champion Floyd Mayweather versus comedian actor Logan Paul at Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida. So, and June 12th, former NBA player and champion Lamar Odom will fight Aaron Carter in Atlantic City. So these are exhibition matches. Check your listings on where you can see this fight, whether it's on pay-per-view or whether it's on a specific channel of your choice that you can see. So be aware of that. This thing in sports, 1946 was the first night game at Yankee Stadium. 1946, they didn't have lights back in those days, but in 1946 it was the first night game played at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees lost the game 2-1. I guess they had to get used to the lights; they couldn't see for a low-scoring game. But now they have these bright lights. It's so bright that you would think that it's daytime, but it's so bright. I can imagine what the electric bill is at now. But in 1957, Major League Baseball approved the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Baseball Giants to move out west. And they changed their name from the Brooklyn Dodgers to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the New York Giants to the San Francisco Giants. So they, what happened that the Dodgers made their move in 1957, and then the following year, the Giants moved the year after, and they became the San Francisco Giants. At one time, we had 3 New York teams. We had the Brooklyn Dodgers, the New York Giants, and of course the New York Yankees. But economic reasons why they could not stay, the Giants and the Dodgers, they moved out west where they got a better offer. And you see that now to this day where teams are moving. In 1968, Major League Baseball announced the splitting of the American League to 2 divisions. Before it was always 1 division, now it's 2 divisions. So they have an East and West division. Also, in 1968, the National League grants the San Diego Padres to a franchise. Remember, they were franchise expansion, like the Montreal Expos was. They were both expansion, and they both got approved. And in 2006, Barry Bonds passes Babe Ruth on the number 2 home run career list at 715. Since then, Barry Bonds has surpassed the late great Hank Aaron as home run king. So much for that. And happy birthday to Hall of Famer Jim Thorpe, one of the Olympians who played in multiple sports. He played baseball. He played for the Cleveland Indians. He played professional football. He played college, and he was a Olympian where he won the Pentathlon and the decathlon. So today would have been his birthday, and today also is the birthday of Hall of Famer Jerry West, former Los Angeles Laker star, who is also known as the logo. You have to see the basketball logo. That the person that's dribbling the ball is Jerry West. And Jerry West claims that he's not the logo, but he is. He doesn't get paid for it, but during the time he was the most exciting player in that era.
I didn't know that.
Jerry West is the logo. Yeah, he's the logo. There was some controversial things about why should he be the logo. Many thought that they should have been Bill Russell, but that's for another story for another time. It was very political during that time. But Jerry West, a fine basketball player and a fine executive. He's one of the greatest players of all time, and I just always enjoyed him. He's only won one championship. Each time he always ran into the Boston Celtics, who had a dynasty back in the 60s. So happy birthday to Jerry West and Jim Thorpe. And that's sports.
Hey, remember I'm going to backtrack about baseball. Remember the lighting of the stadiums. Do you remember the years when the Chicago Cubs when they were home, they never did a night game?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. That was something, because I believe that they were the last team to have night game baseball.
Uh-huh.
It was just something that how they every year that they was always playing day games. All their home games was always during the daytime. No matter what it was.
Yeah.
And it's just.
I just wonder why they never bothered to put lights in the stadium.
Well,
I mean, that's like, that was in the 60s, in the 70s, I think. In the 60s, I'll be safe and say the 60s, because I remember they didn't have it in the 60s. But that was like old school baseball, way back in the 1800s or something, when they played day games only.
Yeah. Well, in August 8th, 1988 was the first night game in Chicago for the Cubs. So they were the last team to have, to went to night games. So yeah, it was only 1988, not too long ago. But yeah, they were the last Major League Baseball team to have their first night game. They always play all their home games. All 81 of their home games was during the daytime.
Yeah, DJ P concurred with you. He said the same thing. They were the last teams to have day games only up until they got the lights. So he concurred. Yeah, because I remember that. I remember that vividly. And I said, that in this day and age, and that was only in the 60s, and all the teams were playing night games.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking, what? Why? But baseball.
I will tell you this. When they were playing all their day games before they switched to night games, and they still play day games too, but when they were playing strictly day games, if the game wasn't over at a certain time, they would suspend the game because of a curfew. Yeah. Because it gets dark after a certain time, and once the sunlight and it gets a little overcast towards nighttime, then they would have to suspend the game and continue the next game on the next day. On that same game, I should say. The same game, they will continue it until the next day, until the game is over. So baseball has come a long way. I don't know why, but they decided to install lights, and that's how in 1988 they became the last team to have a night game, night game.
My memories of the Cubs was Leo DeRocha when he was manager at the time. Was it Leo DeRocha? He was a manager of the Cubs back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." That's where they were known for. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I love going to the ballpark back in those days. It was dirt cheap to go to the stadium, but that's another show.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, thanks a lot. Hey, listen,
everybody.
You
too, Pete.
Yeah, and you have a wonderful weekend, because it's going to be a long one. And as you say, you got a lot of plans going on for this weekend, so enjoy it.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Take care of yourself. Okay, that was Brian Kemp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's here each week, part of his 2020 feature. And of course, he had a lot of information this morning. And of course, we thank you so much for that. So now he's finished for the day. He's done for the day. His weekend already started, just like that. It's already started. So I can imagine him packing up right now and getting ready to hit the road. DJ Pete is going to hit the road too when he comes in. So he's still here. And as soon as he leaves, he's going to pack up. And as soon as I'm off the air, I'm going to pack up. We all start the weekend. So I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that's like I said, that's the first part of the 2020 feature, and of course, DJ Pete will be here 22 the hour with his part of the feature with entertainment news and reciting all of those marvelous birthdays of people of entertainment. That's all coming up. Just in case you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour. My name is Frank Allan, and thank you so much for being along with us. We'll be here for the next 25 minutes or so, 25 and a half minutes from now. And as I said later on, not too far away, we're going to give you information on my picks of the movies that's coming along. And so that's going to happen. I think we're going to do that right after DJ Pete. I want to take you back in time before Pete comes on. I got a little time. I'm going to take you back in time. Nostalgia. You like nostalgia? Okay. Does anyone remember or still have their very first communication system? And I'm talking about cell phones and things like that. Does anybody still have theirs? All right. Does anybody still have theirs? Anybody? Let me know, because I'm going to tell you something. I still have mine. I still have mine. My very first. As a matter of fact, before the cell phone came along, there was the beeper. Do you remember the beeper? This is it, the beeper. And I still have the number. I still have the number of the beeper that I occupied back then. You think I should say it? I don't know. Maybe I should not say the number, because that might be someone else may be occupying that number, and we don't want to give it away. But this is the beeper, and you clip it on your belt, right? And someone will give you a call, beep, 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 and you could press that button and you could see their number. Now, sometimes I didn't always know who number it was, but I would call back. You know, they beep you, comes up on this little window. They would beep you, right? And you look at the number and you call them back. Now, back then, I didn't have a cell phone. Back then, I would go to the nearest phone booth. We had phone booths back then, nearest phone booths. And so this is what we had, the beeper. And anybody get in touch with you, that's how you can do it. And then when the cell phone came along, of course, my very first cell phone was this one. You ready for this? This is my very first cell phone. The Motorola cell phone. I still have the number to this number too, but I'm not going to give it away. I still have the number on here. You can't see the number, but this is where it is on the strip. And this cell phone was huge. I mean, you look at it today, it's huge, you know, and you put it in your pocket. Right? I mean, I remember one time I had taken this phone and I went to a club one night and I put it in my pocket because that's the only place I could put it. But it was bulging out of my pants. So the lady said to me, she says, "Are you glad to see me?" It was so huge. But it was fun to talk on. It was fun. It's a Motorola, digital Motorola phone, the original. And that's where. And then, you know, while I had this phone at the same time, I still had the beeper, because back then, you know, as they still do today, you pay for the call. I think, do they still pay for the call as they come in? Do you still have to pay for that? But back then, you would, when you make a call, you pay for it. When you receive the call, you pay for it. So what I used to do is anybody that called my beeper, I never gave out the number, but anybody that called my beeper, I would call them on the cell phone. So no incoming calls came in here. But then I realized I was paying too much money, paying a lot of bills and things like that. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of the beeper. The beeper eventually went out anyway. Okay, after that came this. Okay, after that came this. This came next. This is another Motorola. It's compact and I can put it in my pocket without it bulging and some women asking me if I'm glad to see them. But this is the StarTech, the StarTech phone. It's a flip phone, just like the other one. Flip phone. Remember these? Remember? And of course, these phones were great too. You could they were just so compact, and you could put them in your breast pocket. That's one of the reasons why I said I got to get rid of that thick phone and get a small phone, so it'd be great. Here was the next one I got: Samsung. Another Samsung flip phone. This is what it was. Here's the window. It has a time clock and everything on it. And this was when I switched over, because when I had that big phone, I was on AT&T. AT&T at that time, they were ripping me off. I don't know how they're doing it now. Let's see. So there, right there. That's the next one. The one I had after that was this one. Now, this wasn't a flip phone. It's another Samsung by T-Mobile. And, you know, I've been with T-Mobile ever since, still there. And this wasn't a flip phone. And with this phone, you could actually take pictures. I think, yeah, you could take pictures with this phone. This is the first telephone that I had that I could take pictures with. All right. So therefore, I'm going to show the other ones, but right now I want to get over, because I don't want to take away Pete's time. And Pete is here with us with entertainment news. Hi, Pete. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Frank. Good morning, Brian, and everybody else watching out there today. I got a lot of artists this week that have birthdays, so I'm going to get started right away. Born May 23rd, 1910, Arthur Jacob Archowski, also known as Artie Shaw, American clarinetist, composer, band leader, actor, and author of both fiction and nonfiction writings. Some of his famous tunes: Begin to Begin, and a lot more. I got to keep rolling here with it. Born May 23rd, 1928, Rosemary Clooney, American singer and actress. Some of her famous tunes: Bacia Mi, Mambo Italiano, This Old House. George Clooney, the actor, is her nephew.
That's right.
I think she had a TV show also back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Born this week, May 24th, 1941, Robert Allan Zimmerman, also known as Bob Dylan. American singer-songwriter, author, and visual artist. Some of his most celebrated works from the 1960s, Blowing in the Wind and Times They Are A-Changing. Born this week, May 25th, 1936, Tom T. Hall, American country music singer, instrumentalist, novelist, and short story writer. One of his famous tunes, I Like Beer. And who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Right after I get off the air, that's where I'm headed.
Yeah. Born this week, May 25th, 1938, John Leon Joseph Pavlik, also known as Johnny Powers. Now, this is the musician Johnny Powers, not the wrestler Johnny Powers. One of his famous tunes, Long Blonde Hair, on Fox Records, which is not to be confused with 20th Century Fox. Fox Records went out of business. Johnny Powers actually was signed on Sun Records at Sam Phillips' place and on Motown Records at the same time. And I believe he wrote some compositions for other people too. Born this week, May 26, 1949, Randall Hank Williams, also known as Hank Williams Jr., American singer, songwriter, and musician, often considered a blend of Southern rock, blues, and country. He's the son of the music legend Hank Williams. Born now, we're not sure if it's this week, in 1885 or 86, or in June, because there's no information I can find on it. So I'll mention his name: Al Jolson, American singer, comedian, actor, and vaudevillian, world's greatest entertainer, as they called him. He was remembered as a star of the first talkie. You know what a talkie is? It's a movie with a soundtrack called The Jazz Singer, 1927. And let's see, let's keep going here. Born this week, May 26, 1920, Norma Dolores Eggstrom, also known as Peggy Lee. American jazz and popular music singer, songwriter, composer, and actress. Her career was over 7 decades. Her beginning as a vocalist was on a local radio show singing with Benny Goodman's big band. Born this week, May 26, 1948, Stephanie Lynn Nicks, also known as Stevie Nicks. American singer-songwriter known for her work with the band Fleetwood Mac and as a solo artist. Let's see. Also born this week, May 26, 1929, Albert Austin Burgess, known as Sonny Burgess, American rockabilly guitarist and singer. He was one of the original musicians with Sam Phillips' Sun Records back in the day. I actually got a chance to meet Sonny Burgess in 2002. Born this week, May 28th, 1945, John Cameron Fogerty. John Fogerty, American singer-songwriter. A lot of great music. He founded the band Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR, as some people call it. Some of his songs, Proud Mary, Bad Moon Rising, Green River, Centerfield, and many more. Born this week, May 28, 1910, Aaron Thibodeau, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Walker, T-Bone Walker, as he's commonly known as, American blues guitarist, singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist.
111 years old today.
Instruments.
111 years old today.
Yeah. He was a pioneer and innovator of the jump blues and electric blues sound.
That's right.
Some of his tunes here, let me see if I can find something here. Call It Stormy Monday. Many more. He had a lot. He had a lot of great tunes here. Born this week, May 28th, 1944, Gladys Knight, known as the Empress of Soul, American singer-songwriter, actress, businesswoman, and author. 7-time Grammy Award winner, too.
77.
Interesting fact about Gladys Knight and the Pips. It included her brother, Merrill Knight, and her cousins, William Guest and Edward Patton. So, family band.
Yeah, absolutely.
For that. Let's see. And finally, born this week, May 29th, 1903, Leslie Towns Hope, also known as Bob
Hope. Yep.
British-American stand-up comedian, vaudevillian actor, singer, dancer, athlete, and author. His career spanned nearly 80 decades. He was in a lot of movies. He did a lot of recordings. And he's most famously known as being part of the USO. And kept doing, he did the USO shows back in World War II when it was popular and very needed, and continued doing it. There's pictures of him in the 1990s on tour with the USO, United Service Organizations, as it's called, entertaining active duty military around the world. And that's what I have this week.
Pop singer Kobe Collette is 36 today. Kylie Minogue is 53. I can't believe it. I watched these kids grow up, and here I am. John Fogerty is 76. You already mentioned Gladys Knight. She's 77 today. Billy Vita of Billy and the Beaters. Billy Vera is his name. Billy Vera, Billy and the Beaters. They sang that, "What would you think if I laid at this moment?" You know, that song. I can't believe it. He's 77 today. And of course, Papa John Creech, the late Papa John Creech, would have been 104 years old. There you go. That's marvelous. You mentioned Al Jolson earlier too. And I have to reflect back to Al Jolson. Al Jolson always, he did the jazz singer. That was his own. That was a real Al Jolson that did that. That was the talkie, the jazz singer. And Larry Parks, I believe it was 1955, 1956, somewhere in there. I got to track back to, can't do it from memory right now. But he did one called The Jolson Story. Larry Parks did The Jolson Story. And alongside Larry Parks was the actor William Demerance, I think his name was. He used to be with the My Three Sons crew. He played Uncle Charlie, if you remember that. Well, he also played in The Jolson Story. But and Larry Parks, he played in The Jolson Story, but he also played in The Jazz Singer with Al Jolson. Would you believe that? Wow. And when Larry Parks did The Jolson Story, he did a sequel to that, which a lot of people don't realize it, but I think the original was better than the sequel. It was called Jolson Sings Again. So yeah, there's a pretty big history. I just saw that just the other day. It's funny that you mentioned Al Jolson. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's. I don't have to. I'm going to have to do some more research and try to find out exactly when his birthday is, because the information I have doesn't show it.
You're talking about Al Jolson?
Yeah, for Al Jolson. Yeah. I'm sure there's something somewhere. I just have to dig deep on it.
I don't know. Would you like me to do that now for you?
You could, or you could talk about something else.
This is going to be a quick one. Okay. You got time, right?
Yeah, I got time if you got time.
Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? Al Jolson was born May 26, 1886.
All right.
There you go. And he died October 23rd, 1950. I never knew Al Jolson when he was alive because I wasn't born until November 6th of that year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah. And his real name, by the way, was Asa Jolson. He was his parents was highly religious, which was all of this was depicted in the Jolson Story. His father was a cantor in the synagogue, and he used to sing with his father in the synagogue. But when he reached over to show business, his father didn't take that too well because he wanted his son to sing with him in the synagogue.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Asa Jolson, that was his real name. So there you go.
There we go.
Hey, Pete, I'm glad you're here this week. Good to see you again.
I'm glad to be here again, and it looks like I'll be back next week also.
Oh, really?
Before I have to check into work that day.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, and if I don't show up live, I'll send you the information as usual.
I know you will. You're very diligent about that. That's very good. Okay, Pete, thanks a lot. Listen, have a great weekend, a long weekend. I don't know what you're going to do, but do it safely.
Yeah, great Memorial Day weekend for everybody out there, and shout out to Brian and everybody else in YouTube and Facebook world, and have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, you take care of yourself.
You too.
Okay, that's DJ Pete, of course. It's always great to have him live. He can't always make it live, but this is one of the Fridays that he was able to do it. As he said, you just heard him. He said he'll be back here next week live again. So thank you, DJ Pete. Thank you, Brian Camp, for your early report on sports. And we've got a great team here. Great team here. So if you're just joining us, here we are. We're here at the coffee hour, and it's coming up to 6 minutes to the hour. And we thank you so much for being along with us. Those of you who are just joining us, you're a little bit late, but please, we're here every Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern, so check your clocks on that. All right, I want to quickly give you my picks on the movies that are coming up. By the way, before I go on, I want to let you know that you can catch DJ Pete on the radio. You can catch him, first of all, on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. And you can catch him there Mondays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, you can catch him on WMPG Radio in Portland, Maine. That's where he resides. But if you can't pick it up from wherever you are, you can always go to the website. They have a website, www.wmpg.org, and you can catch him there every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., and all times are Eastern. Okay, there you go. Okay, so here's my picks for movies this weekend. If you want to watch, if you don't want to go out and barbecue, if you just want to live as a hermit this weekend, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Here are some good movies that I think you're going to like. I only have a couple of them this week, so I can go right through them really quick. Here's a classic called The Best Years of Our Lives, back in 1946, starring Frederick March and Dana Andrews. It's a great movie. I saw that like 100 times. It's a long movie, but it's a great movie. And that comes on Turner Classic Movies. That'll be Saturday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning at 12:15 a.m. So listen, if you're up at that time, you could watch it. If you have insomnia, you could watch that. If you don't want to stay up that late, please DVR it. You can do that too, and you can watch it later. Also coming up, No Time for Sergeant, starring Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith on that was from 1958. That movie was done 1958. It's a funny movie, a nice comedy on TCM as well, and that's on Saturday in the morning at 11:30 a.m. and you can check it out. And if there's other movies, if you don't like these, there's other. You can go down and check out the television guide on your screen. Turner Classic Movies. You might see something that you like there as well. You can do that. And if you don't like any of those movies, you always check out Demand. Go on Demand. They have a chock full of movies. The networks are there. There's a lot to choose from, so you can check that out too. And of course, a lot of you have Netflix and Fire Sticks and all of those things. So you're going to be very well entertained this weekend, you know, between going out and barbecuing and having a good time, taking that flight someplace. It's going to be a long weekend. So, you know, use it to the best of your ability. We're now coming up to 3 minutes to the hour. And I want to finish showing you the classic cell phones that I have, right? Before we went over to DJ Pete. Here's the other one. Well, when we end here's another one that I had. All right. This was the last one I showed you, right? This is the last one I showed you. And this is my first phone that you could actually take pictures. The first phone I had that you could actually take pictures. Compact, great, small, you know, they're great. And here's another one, another flip phone. We go back to flip phones. Okay, I go back to the flip phones. You could also take pictures with this. This was another, this was called a Sony Emerson. A Sony Emerson this time. You could take pictures with this. So this is one of my old phones. You remember the old flip phones? They were great. The flip phones were great. I dug them. They were really nice. And of course, you could put it in your pocket, you know, it doesn't bulge out of your pocket. And you won't have the lady asking you, you know, are you glad to see me? Which Brian made a reference saying you can't say that anymore today. It's sexual harassment, and he's absolutely right, you know. And as we move in current times, this one I had too. Right after that, this is another one I had. Another one. So they get larger, but they're still flat and compact. Put it in your pocket too. They're not that small, but they're compact. And this was an LG that I had. So we're moving up to better times. That was the last. That was 2000. And this is the one I had after that. This was another Samsung, and it's still current. It's still current. If I were to turn it on, it would still be current. It's a current phone. It's a current phone. It's just that I upgraded to my final phone, which I'm using now, and this is what I'm using now, and it's another Samsung. I believe it is. So this is what I'm to. That first phone I was telling you about, that flip phone, right? That flip phone, this one here, it's in retirement. It's used as a doorstop now. So it's so big, it uses it as a doorstop. It's great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had a good time today. I hope you did too. We've got to go, and it's time for me to kick off the weekend, just like I'm following in the steps of Brian and DJ Pete. I'm going to kick off the weekend right now. And I thank you for being along with us. Listen, don't forget, you can check out my show, the Blue Cafe. Blue Cafe comes on. Yeah, sure. The Blue Cafe comes on. You can check it out right now when we go off the air. If you look up at the top in the screen, the subject area, if you're watching us on YouTube, go to the chat area. You see at the very bottom, it says Blue Cafe, and then it has the link there. You can go on and pop it up. It has 3 interviews there I did. One with Bobby Rydell, one with Jimmy Clampton, and another one with Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. It's all there. That's the Blue Cafe. We're looking for others to come in too. Don't forget to check us back on the Talk Back Live. That's it's once was a radio show, now it's a TV show, but it's still the same. Brian Kemp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports. So that's coming up every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And make sure you check your clocks for that. Other than that, I'll be back here next week for the coffee hour between 10 and 11 Eastern. And we're going to do it all over again, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I thank you so much for being with us. In the meantime, I want you to have a great day, a great long Memorial Holiday weekend, and I'll see you back here then. Take care. God bless you, and have a good one. Bye-bye. Take care.